This is a tutorial from CCT College Dublin Centre for Teaching and Learning on Mentimeter. Mentimeter is a fantastic tool for engaging students in the online and physical teaching and learning environment. It basically enables you to create presentations that incorporate interactive activities such as MCQs, word clouds, and more. Go to mentimeter.com. If you haven't got an account already, it will prompt you to sign up for an account. And you can do this using your Facebook account or your Gmail account, which is really convenient. It's saying to me I already have presentations because I've already got an account. So I'm just going to click here and that will take me into the next screen. You can see that you get prompted to upgrade. I've never had the need to upgrade. It enables you to create 5 quiz type slides and 2 question type slides. And I find that's more than enough interactivity in a presentation, so I've never needed to upgrade, but just to be aware of it. To create a new presentation, you just click on New Presentation. I'm going to call this one Big Data and create presentation. You're then taken to an area. You click on Add Slide when you want to create a new slide, and you can see your interactive options here. So I'm going to start off with a multiple choice. There's also word clouds, open-ended questions, ranking, Q&A. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to look at incorporating 3 interactive features into your presentation: multiple choice, Q&A, and word cloud. I'm going to start with the multiple choice. So I just click on that. It then prompts me to create a question, and I'm going to ask, what are the attributes of big data? So maybe you want to get a discussion going at the start of a semester on a big data module or a professional diploma in big data, just to gauge people's understanding. It can be a really good diagnostic, Mentimeter, or you could use it halfway through to assess the class's comprehension, just to make sure that there's no one struggling, retention issues, etc. So I'm going to put in the 5 characteristics of big data, and hopefully if we were putting this question to the class halfway through the semester, we would be hoping that they'd have a good understanding of these attributes of velocity, volume, variety, you can add other options. Value is another one. And veracity. You can just keep adding the options. The great thing about the free version of Mentimeter as well is you can create as many slides as you like, as many presentations you like for an unlimited audience, so it's really good like that. Click Add and click all of the above, or enter all of the above, should I say, all of the above. And we now have created our multiple choice question, and obviously if we're halfway through a semester, we're hoping that students are going to be answering all of the above. So just to show you what it looks like from the student perspective, they're in the classroom setting. This is on your screen. This is the present button if you want to get this slide up on your screen. And they go to menti.com on their mobile devices and they enter this code, and they can now engage with this MCQ. So I'm going to go to menti.com. And I'm going to enter the code. It asks for code. That just means that just the students in your class are seeing this presentation. It's secure. So the code number is 58077. I'm just going to pop that in if I'm a student. This is what it looks like to the student. And it's 58077. Click submit. And hopefully students will be clicking this bottom button. So I've interacted with my lecture. It's all captured on the lecture slides. I go back to my slides as a lecture this time, and you can see the student has engaged. So you'll be getting lots of answers popping up on the screen there, and so again you can see the interactive element there. So if you click on themes, you can actually change the color of your slides. So you could pick something a little bit more colorful like that, for example. And to get back to your slides, just click into the slides. So that will have got a good discussion going in the classroom, and it will also encourage interactivity between students, each other and the lecturer, but also it helps to kind of gauge student understanding and to help support students. So if I click on add slide, I can now add another feature. So I'm going to look at the second feature of this tutorial, which is the word cloud. And by the way, I mean, it can obviously be used in any subject area. You know, you could be looking at the elements of a really good CSR strategy and so forth. So it's enabling me to ask a question, and I'm going to ask, what are the strategic advantages of big data? So you could keep just building on your discussion as you go through the slides. And again, students will go to menti.com and enter this code to give their answer to that, and that will create a word cloud. So I'm going to 58077. That's my code. Submit. And students can start from their mobile devices entering terms. So I might put something like, perhaps it promotes evidence-based planning. When you have lots of data, you can reduce risks because you can make informed decisions. So risk mitigation. Maybe better customer services because you can tailor your products, etc. and submit. And to get back to your presentation, it will always be there in the toolbar. So I'm just going to click there, and you can see now I have a word cloud forming. But I want to show you my favorite feature, and that is the Q&A. So I'm going to create another slide, and I love this Q&A feature. This Q&A feature allows students from their mobile devices to post questions. I think it's a fantastic tool for engagement, but also for retention. Sometimes students that are struggling, they don't want to put up their hands and ask a question. So they can actually ask a question from their mobile device. So just again to show you what it would look like from their end, if I go to menti.com, and I put in the code, I can ask a question. So you might say, do you have any good case studies? Corporations and big data, something like that. And at this point, you could maybe get up a library database or get something up on Google, preferably the library database. And if I just go back to my slide, you can see there, do you have any good studies, corporations and big data? And you as the lecturer can mark the question answered. And I just think it's a really nice feature. And then at that point, you could maybe break off and go and look at something on the internet. There's plenty about big data and Amazon data lakes, how Amazon use big data to rule e-commerce. And you could get another discussion going, maybe bringing in academic sources as well from library databases and so forth. So just to show you as well, there's lots on the internet about Mentimeter and student engagement. So you can get lots of ideas. Just pop Mentimeter and student engagement into Google. I'm just going to go back to my slides again, and just to let you know, you can actually add just regular slides. So maybe you want a slide just with some text, and you don't actually want any interactive components. And when you're actually finished with your slides, it remains in the platform. So what's fantastic about Mentimeter is it encourages all this interactivity. You can measure student progress and provide additional supports to students. But it's also a really fantastic artifact of the learning that's taken place, and it remains in the platform, and you can actually also share the results with the students, and the link to access the results is there. So it really does engage students from start to finish. You click on this present button to get your screens up when you're actually presenting, and you can do it again maybe at the end. You can actually, if I just quickly go back to the beginning there, you can just run through at the end just to show students the results, and so forth. So it's a really extremely user-friendly. Thank you for your time, and enjoy Menti.